Vivo continues to build its selfie-focused arsenal with the introduction of the V7, a smaller and slightly more affordable version of the V7 Plus. Following the same design principles and with similar specifications at a lower price, the new V7 goes up against the Oppo F5, but does it really offer better value? We find out. Just like its bigger sibling, the V7 has a plastic body, which is a little disappointing considering that most phones in this price range and below now sport at least a metal back. Even so, the V7 looks sleek and is quite lightweight. The phone also looks pretty nice thanks to the chrome trim around the display and antenna lines at the back. Button placement is good and the SIM tray has separate slots for 2 SIM cards and a microSD card, which is also good. The fingerprint sensor works well too and you can use it to lock apps. Vivo has used a 5.7-inch IPS panel with an 18:9 aspect ratio, so it's taller and takes up most of the space on the front of the phone. Borders are pretty slim all around too. The resolution is only HD though, so icons and text don't look very sharp, but colors and viewing angles are good. The phone uses the same Snapdragon 450 mobile platform as the V7 Plus, and you get 4GB of RAM but less storage at 32GB. Vivo is sticking with this FunTouch OS, which is now based on Android 7.1.2. However, the customization seems to have resulted in some native Android features such as the battery usage graph and split screen mode being dropped. For the latter, you'll have to deal with Vivo's own Smart Split feature, which only works with a handful of apps. There are plenty of pre-installed apps, but you can get rid of most of them if not needed. FunTouch OS also has a slight learning curve to it and hasn't really changed much over the years, which makes it feel a bit dated. The V7 also has face recognition security feature, which works well under good lighting, but not so much in low light. The Vivo V7 works well for everyday usage. Most social and web apps run without a hitch, and games run fairly well too, as the HD display doesn't really stress the GPU too much. The interface also feels quick and we didn't really encounter any lag. Videos are rendered well and Full HD videos look good. The speaker doesn't get too loud for media files, but with good aftermarket headphones, audio performance is good. The front 24 megapixel camera is the main highlight of this phone, and it does a good job of capturing detailed selfies. There's minimal shutter lag, so you can get clear selfies even when you're moving about. There's also a fill light in the front which works well. You get a beautification mode and a group selfie feature too. The rear 60 megapixel sensor does a decent job with landscapes and macros. Details in distant objects tend to suffer a bit, and low light shots end up looking a bit soft, but overall they're not too bad. Video recording tops out at 1080p, but there's no continuous autofocus here, which is quite annoying. Battery life is also good, and despite the slight reduction in capacity compared to the V7 Plus, we still managed to get a full day's worth of usage. The V7 is good for selfies, but the overall feature set isn't as competitive as Oppo's offering. We're mainly talking about the plastic body and the HD display, both of which feel like big compromises. Unless the V7 drops in price, we think you would be better off with the Oppo F5 or even the Moto X4 at this price. So thanks for watching our review, and for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.